You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. Is it ever too early for a way too early mock draft? Just saying. We love mock drafts, don't we? And Pro Football Focus put out a mock draft simulator. So understand this isn't based on their opinions. They take all of their Pro Football Focus metrics, they dump them into the computer, and boom, it spits out the mock draft. Okay? So this isn't this analyst likes this player and makes this reasoned approach for why they would take that guy, right? This is just, understand, this is a computer where they put all the Pro Football Focus data in and hit simulate, hit start, and bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, there's your mock draft. Okay. We know that quarterbacks are the most valuable position in team sports. There's nothing even close, which is why we always see quarterbacks go first overall. Worst team looking to get better drafts what they feel is the best quarterback. There are rare exceptions where you see Myles Garrett go number one if there's not a transcendent, obvious quarterback, and there is a player like Myles Garrett. But really, if you're going to go one overall, you're either a quarterback or someone who affects the quarterback, either a edge rusher, a blindside tackle, or maybe even a cornerback. So the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator spits out their mock draft, and they do not have a quarterback going number one overall. They have a cornerback going number one overall. They have LSU cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. going first overall to the Houston Texans. The write-up. The mock draft simulator must believe Deshaun Watson isn't going anywhere anytime soon. If that's the case, who should the Texans pick first overall? Why not use the pick on a defensive building block in cornerback Derek Stingley? Although Kayvon Thibodeau and Kyle Hamilton are receiving most of the talk in the best defender of the 2022 NFL draft class conversation, Stingley deserves a seat at the table, especially when considering his positional value. How about them apples? Now, right now, it is 4:05 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, August the 12th, 2021. I'm going to say definitively right now that Derek Stingley Jr. is not going to be the first pick in the draft, okay? A quarterback, whoever that will be, is going to be the first pick in the draft because quarterbacks are always going to be the first pick in the draft. Whoever the flavor of the week, the hot riser, whatever it is by the time we get to next April, that's who's going to go first overall. But the thing that I am most intrigued by when it comes to projections and things like that are always two. There's always two things that I'm most interested in. Vegas, because Vegas has no bias. Their bias is their team color is green. All they care about is money. They want to be right. They want to make money. And computers, because computers have no bias. They're interpreting data and spitting something out at you based on the data they're asked to interpret, based on that algorithm. Now, what a computer can't gauge, obviously, is the human element, like what I just described. If the Texans do stick with Deshaun Watson, they have the worst record in the league, they're going to trade out of the first overall pick, and whoever is dead set on quarterback, and whoever that is first overall, if it's Sam Howell or whoever it may be, if it's Spencer Rattler, they're going to go up and take that player. Okay. But it's still fascinating to see Stingley at the top of this mock draft. Also of interest, there is no other LSU player in this first round, which may speak to something else we're going to talk about in just a quick second, which is another computer ranking for this college football season. Again, this is just data. It's just it's not the be-all, end-all. It's just an input to consider. If you're interested about the rest of the draft, a lot of people obviously always want to know about the Saints. They have the Saints picking 20th overall, which means you're in that dreaded purgatory that the Saints were in with those back-to-back-to-back 7-9 seasons where you're not bad enough to be at the top of the draft, and you're not good enough to be a playoff team. You're picking right smack dab in that 20 range, just purgatory in the NFL. They have the Saints taking Jordan Battle, safety, out of Alabama. And it's plausible. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins isn't going to play forever. I assume they're going to give a long-term deal to Marcus Williams. So Marcus Williams and a first-round draft pick at safety would make some sense at 20 overall. The other points of interest for me, I always look at the SEC guys. And what is most interesting to me is they have 4 players from Texas A&M going in the top 21 picks. They have the Chargers taking Kenyon Green, the offensive guard. They have the Vikings at 16 taking DeMarvin Leal, the big defensive tackle. They got the Bucks at 19 taking running back Isaiah Spiller. So they're also projecting the Tampa, by the way. No, never mind. That's the traded pick from Philly. Never mind. And then they've got the Jags at 21 taking Jalen Weidermeyer, the tight end. So maybe a lot of the hype around Texas A&M is somewhat legitimate. And I've told you, I think A&M's defense this year is going to be very good. The question might be on the offensive side, but they're projecting an offensive guard, their running back, and their tight end all going in the top 21 picks, which is pretty amazing. Alabama, they project Christian Harris, the linebacker from Baton Rouge, going 4th overall to the Jets. God, that stings. Evan Neal, the offensive tackle, going number 5 to Cincinnati. Give Joe Burrow a little protection. I mentioned Jordan Battle, the safety, going to the Saints. So just 3 Bama players. They have Charles Cross, offensive lineman from Mississippi State, going 10th. Kyer Elam, the cornerback from Florida, 12th to the Raiders. Traylon Burks, the wide receiver from Arkansas, 18 to Pittsburgh. And then Kingsley Ngabare, who we talked to at SEC Football Media Days, incidentally. And he doesn't go by Kingsley. He goes by, I think, JJ, he told me afterwards. They have him going 26th overall to Cleveland. So, interesting. I just wanted to share it with you. Again, it's never too early for a way too early mock draft, but I wanted to share that with you because that computer algorithm at Pro Football Focus projected Derek Stingley as the number 1 overall pick. Interesting day for Derek Stingley, incidentally. His dad on social media posted on his Instagram account, posted a picture of Derek with a muscle car, and the caption reads, "This is unbelievable. Extremely excited about Derek Stingley's partnership with Jimmy Granger's Ford. Truly grateful they're partnering with my son." So that's a Ford dealership in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and they partnered with Stingley, and apparently Derek got himself a muscle car. Do you know what? Are either of you car guys? I have no idea what kind of car that is.
It looked like a Mustang.
I know it's a Cobra. It's like one of the high-end Mustangs, which is like, it's got to be at least $60,000.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really nice-looking muscle car. I mean, I didn't think it was a Mustang because it's got the snake on the front of it. But
it's a Cobra.
Yeah.
It's a high-end Mustang.
Mustang Cobra.
Got it. Okay, a Mustang Cobra. Okay. Yeah. So now we just get to see where the players get their fancy cars that they take pictures on. Now we just know where they get them from now. They can talk about it. Yeah. So nothing's really different from before. We just know that he got it now from this Ford dealership in Natchitoches. We all good with that?
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped for him. Good for you, dude. Go get you a vehicle. Get you a ride. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.